All right, the last thing we're going to talk about is identifying conic sections in this section. So we know that a parabola only has one x squared or y squared. I know that circles only have one radius, where ellipses have two different numbers, and hyperbolas have a subtraction sign. So we need to look to see what we can do here. On example 3, the first thing I'm going to do is put the x's together, the y's together, and I'm going to get rid of the 11 by adding it over to the right side. So I'm going to work on top here. I have 4x squared minus 16x plus 9y squared plus 18y, and I'm going to bring the 11 over. In order to complete the square, we have to get rid of these first numbers. So I can't have a 4 or a 9 here. So I'm actually going to factor those out. When I factor that out, I have x squared minus 4x plus something. And then I have 9 times y squared plus 2y plus something. And I know that when I add something to the left side, I also have to add it to the right side. So let's go ahead and complete the square here. I'm going to complete the square by taking half of negative 4, which is negative 2, square it, and I get 4. But because of this 4 on the outside, I didn't really just add 4, I added 16. Half of 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1. Because of this 9 on the outside, I actually added 9 times 1, which is 9. So my next step, I have 4 times x minus 2 quantity squared, because that's going to help us get our center, plus 9 times y minus 1 quantity squared, and this is equal to 36. Well, I know it has a plus sign, so we're getting there. I also know it's not a circle because I have to divide everything through by this 36, and it gives me two different numbers underneath. So let's finish by writing x minus 2 quantity squared over 9 plus y minus 1 quantity squared over 4 is equal to 1. So that's what we have, and they did ask us to find its center, but let's first talk about what it is. It is an ellipse, and I know this because the two numbers down here are different. They would not be different if it was a circle. It would be exactly the same. I also know it's an ellipse because of the plus sign. The plus sign tells me it's an ellipse, not a hyperbola. I know the center is the opposite 2, the opposite 1. And remember, to find the foci, we have to subtract those numbers. So a squared minus b squared equals c squared. 9 minus 4 equals c squared. 5 equals c squared. And when I take the square root of each side, don't forget your plus or minus. Because the major axis is on the x, the larger number is under the x, I know this is going to be at the x. So remember, this is my x point. So my foci are at 2 plus or minus root 5 and 1. And that is how you can identify conic sections.